I'm very proud to tell you guys this video is going to be brought to you by Gfuel, and right now they have a brand new Kaiju number 8 energy formula. You guys know, if you've been keeping up with my videos on my other channel, I love Kaiju number 8. I am extremely proud to say that I've tried this one out. This energy formula of the Kiwi Berry Blitz is absolutely insane, and you get that energy formula itself. There's just enough caffeine in the energy formula itself to get your day started. Another huge plus is the fact that there's zero crash when you use it, so you ain't got to worry about being Konohamaru and not being able to perform because you ain't got the energy. Also, you get all the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that are going to get your day going, and best of all, there's zero sugar, which is a huge plus to me. You guys know that running multiple YouTube channels, it's not an easy thing to do. And so I do time to time need an energy drink to pick me up. And so I go with Gfuel because it's a lot healthier than some of the energy drinks that are out there. Use my promo code KAGE in order to get your discount. When you click on my affiliate link down in the description box, you can purchase the Kaiju number 8 box as well as any other anime themed Gfuel products that strike your fancy. Doing so really helps support the channel. Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a fan theory that's been brought to my attention that I want to bring to the greater community over here on YouTube. As you guys know, I've mostly shifted Boruto content over towards doing discussions around stuff around the chapter. So topics like, is Mitsuki going to join the action-packed battlefield that is going on in Konoha right now, or why Momoshiki targeting Sarada makes the most sense narratively. So chapter discussions, not theories. But this time I wanted to break that no fan theory rule because a supporter of the channel brought something to my attention that another supporter of the channel raised that I didn't really consider before, which is the possibility of who Jura's true identity is. As you guys know, the manga, it hasn't directly told us who Jura is based off of. I've seen theories of people saying it was Gar because of the haircut that the guy has. I've seen Jigen, I've seen Ishiki. I originally thought that maybe something happened with that claw grime that Kawaki attacked that had the Rinnegan, because Kawaki blasted with this chakra blast that came from the ninja tech, and the claw grime was smiling when you zoom in and look at the panel as he was eating the blast. And I figured, hey, Rinnegan can absorb chakra, so maybe that was something there. I did the video with my guy King Bullet prior to that collab. I laid out in extensive detail why I strongly believe that it was the Ten Tails that was Jura's body. And by Ten Tails, I mean the main body of the Ten Tails. And we settled on that for the stance of the video on his channel. However, this one theory I got tagged in on Twitter has my mind rolling a bit because of the possibilities, which is the idea that Kakashi is Jura's true identity. Now, I'm going to be fully transparent here, and this time I'm going to stress up front, I am not debunking someone's theory. I am not trashing their theory, since I saw people say that nonsense when I shared my disagreement with my guy Itachi Vivi's theory on Boruto and Kawaki. And the whole thing, the Egyptian gods, which still people to this day use it to act like I was this holier than thou, gatekeeping a-hole, attacking somebody else on Twitter and TikTok. When he and we've talked privately behind the scenes, and he knows that was never the intention. And if you actually watch the video in question, I wasn't dunking on his theory. I said the opposite, and I even congratulated him for getting a viral video. And I even told the guy, like, hey, take those fire ass TikToks you're doing and upload them on YouTube as shorts. Maximize the content that you're getting. But those are stories you ain't gonna hear in public. So I'm laying all that out there now as a preface, because I don't want to go through the nonsense that we went through last time where I disagreed with a seemingly popular opinion. So let's look at Smurfy's theory. If this ends up being correct, we got an amazing prognosticator in the community. He says that Jura knows about the Sharingan, as we saw when Hidari revealed that Jura was the one who told him about the Sharingan eyes, and Hidari knows about the Sharingan, and he knows he can't properly use the Chidori without the Sharingan eyes. That would be something that Kakashi himself would be aware of, since Kakashi once had the Sharingan and literally says himself that the jutsu isn't complete without the Sharingan eyes. So I can see the connection on that end. His next reason is that Jura has a connection to Naruto that is completely unexplained. Kakashi was Naruto's former sensei, and Kakashi was the one who groomed Naruto to be the 7th Hokage. Kakashi would feel a very strong pull towards Naruto since he, like all the others, are under the belief that Naruto's dead and that Boruto killed him. So there would be a connection there. So again, I can see some of the logic here. The final reason he says to consider it as Kakashi is that Jura loves to read books, and so too does Kakashi. Now, both men, they are quick to get lost on the path of life, whereas Kakashi will read porn in public. Jura is the more dignified and classy person who only reads books that are packed with the finest information, and he has the sense to read books that one wouldn't be embarrassed to read in public. There's an insatiable thirst for knowledge there with both of those characters. So again, while I'm not a huge fan of this theory, I do see why he jumped to that conclusion, and the real reason why I'm even giving this a chance and saying like, hey, even if you initially disagree with it like I am, you can't really just say I'm gonna slam the door completely shut on it, because we do have Ikimoto's statement from back in 2017 where he said Kakashi, due to being super popular, he's never been in the manga, but said, hey, he's gonna have a role coming up later on that he couldn't discuss because it would be a big spoiler. And as we've seen in the past, he has teased stuff that ended up coming to be true. He said that Himawari would have a bigger role in the story back in 2018, and in 2024, Himawari has a pretty big role in the story currently. He said back in 2020 he was going to change Boruto's time skip designs to make it easier to draw, and lo and behold, we got Boruto with shorter hair, a smaller scar on his eye. Kawaki's outfit was changed to the original outfit that Kawaki was meant to wear in Boruto Part 1 before it got changed to that design that we saw in Part 1. The idea of Kakashi feeling a sense of duty to bring in Sasuke is not the craziest thing. Naruto chapter 699 did have Kakashi say that if Sasuke ever went off the rails, he was the one tasked with personally bringing Sasuke to a stop. We've seen in stories like the Naruto Retsuden trilogy and the Konoha Shinden Steam Ninja Scrolls story that Kakashi will take up work that grabs his attention because, quite frankly, he is a former Hokage, so he can do whatever he wants. Nobody's gonna stop him. So the idea of him running wild looking for Sasuke and bumping into a random claw grime, could it happen? Absolutely sure, but this is where I start laying out some of my disagreements, which, to restate, I am not attacking Smurfy in any way whatsoever. So anyone trying to make this another Itachi VV situation, again, you can shove it up your ass like you forgot to say no Diddy or no Drizzy. If it would have been Kakashi, in my opinion, then the moment that Jura and Hidari, they walked through those Konoha gates, the chakra signature, it would have been detected. The sensory unit directly says that they are checking the chakra signatures, and they say one, i.e. Jura, is unknown, and the other is Sasuke Uchiha, specifically calling it a match, meaning they cross-reference the chakra that was registered to the village. If it would have been Kakashi, they would have said the same thing here, and they wouldn't have said it's an unknown chakra signature. The other thing is Kakashi, a former Hokage, suddenly going missing. It would have raised quite the eyebrow at some point in the story, even on the aforementioned missions where he took them after retiring as Hokage. Kakashi still checked in with Konoha on a regular basis. This would have been even more so the case with him being a former Hokage at his age. Kakashi came into Boruto Naruto Next Generation 47 years old. He is currently 50 years old in Boruto Super Vortex. So he's a little bit younger than the Sannin were in part 1 of the story. And he is a former Hokage who has guards who are assigned to him, though Kakashi is quick to ditch said guards. The point being, however, he would have checked in if he was gone, and if too much time had passed by without him checking in, then it would have been a cause of concern, which is why I don't think this is going to be Kakashi. The other thing that makes me question this is the fact that Jura's words and behavior, it tends to show that it's not even Naruto he's got a strong attachment to. He doesn't care about Naruto anymore. He's interested in the Nine Tails itself. Naruto was the last known Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, so he was seeking out Naruto to devour him. You want to get to Kurama? You go to Naruto. Pretty AB logic there. While Jura came from a different Ten Tails than the one who was used to make Kurama in the end, it still made sense to target Naruto, a being who is after consuming chakra, just so happened to want chakra that once belonged to another version of the Ten Tails. The moment he saw Himawari was in possession of Kurama's chakra, Naruto got dropped from his mind faster than Sukuna laughed from within Yuji Itadori's body when he heard Gojo say, "Nah, I'd win." Again, like I do with all Boruto fan theories I've covered in the past, I don't rule anything out that you guys suggest. Quite a few of the fan theories that you guys have suggested ended up coming true. I enjoy looking over the stuff that you guys send, even if it's something I'm not completely sold on. Like this one, I'm not completely sold on it. I see issues with it that don't move me into the camp of, hey, I think this is gonna happen, but I do think it's a worthy conversation to have here in the community. Now, I do wanna say, go follow Smurfy's account, get him to 2,000 followers over on Twitter before his son's born. Much congratulations on that. You said you had a Boruto coming, so I'm assuming you got a son. Back onto the whole Ten Tails topic, I want to run through some of the other possibilities that people are running through. That way I can just kind of address everything all in one video. I've seen people say that they think the other Konoha shinobi who got bitten in front of Sarada, that shinobi we literally know nothing about, people are saying he could be Jura's true identity, since everyone else who got turned into a tree, they became one of those evolved shinjuu. That makes more sense than Kakashi in my opinion here. But if I'm not mistaken, if you go through some of the text, it's implied that more people got turned into trees and not all of them were awakened shinjuu either. So I'm not even too sure about that guy. And it's the same thing with a guy like Gar. Like, I've had a few patrons hit me up saying, do you think this could potentially be Gar? And having a Kage go missing, that's a pretty big deal. It's the same thing as Kakashi. It would have been mentioned before this, and Code had no issue or no reason, no motivation to want to target any of the other villages. He placed those other claw marks outside the other villages as a diversion. His target was always Konoha. So I don't see that potentially being a possibility. Now, again, I still stand pretty firmly 10 toes down on it being the main body of the Ten Tails, which I'm not going to go over all the points that my guy King Bullet and I made on the video over on his channel. I'll just leave that video in the description box for you guys who are interested. However, I will say this, just as I said with the car inners, when you look at the meanings behind their names, in particular, the tech puns that are associated with their names, their powers, their abilities, relationships, personalities, it all makes more sense when you look at things from that perspective. Like Ada being a pun off the programmer Ada Lovelace, who was considered by history to be the first computer programmer. Just as Ada with her Senrigan sees all things with her eye and has a vast knowledge of pretty much all things in Naruto universe from the moment of her birth to what's going on now. Which again, Viz Media screwed up her translation for the name. It's ADA, not EIDA. Calling her EIDA is like calling Code Kodo or Bug Bago, or calling Beerus in Dragon Ball Beers, or Whis by the name of whiskey. They're all pun. You change the translation even if the spelling says something else. Jura's name, when you look at the Japanese lettering system and you apply the proper accent marks, the name, it would come out to be the translation of 10th Demon, which is exactly what the Ten Tails is. The 10th tailed beast, the 10th demon. The main body of the Ten Tails went missing right before Jura was born. That's where I'm putting the bulk of my money on it. Again, I don't rule anything out, even if it's something like this Kakashi theory that I don't see as being likely, because while I do see holes in it, Jura being after the QB chakra, it's a nod to it being the main body of the Ten Tails. However, to my guy Smurfy's defense though, you can't close the book on this. I'm going to tell you why. So we've seen that there are moments in the story that it should have stuff where it's common sense to other characters, and we end up finding out that something gets overlooked. Things we think are common sense don't end up being common sense. We've seen characters make mistakes that they normally would not make. So I mean, I can see the possibility of this being a swerve that Ikimoto was referring to with Kakashi, and we learned something happened to make Jura's chakra completely unreadable to Konoha. After all, he appears to be the most different out of all the other shinjuu when you look at them together. So the idea of his chakra signature not being a one-to-one match of the person whose chakra was used to make him, I could kind of see that. Again, I'm not really sold on it, but I don't slam the door on it either. I just thought that this would make a good conversation with you guys here on the channel. In the meantime, click here on the left for the Boruto chapter review if you've not seen it already, and click here on the right for my Kikuro Shinomiya video essay on her character that goes in extensive detail if you're a fan of Kaiju number 8.